This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. Great pre-owned inventory with the all-important Sunbury Motors guarantee. They go over every vehicle on the lot. Great service department, whether it happens to be quick lane inspections, routine, difficult, they handle it all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Everybody, put your feet up and enjoy. The great Jody Mac is with us. Jody, how you been?
Steve Jones, how you been? I'm good.
I'm doing great. Feel great. You know, hey, look, it's finally football season. Let's have a little fun here.
And your Knicks looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, no, it's a good start. You know, nice foundational week. Now you know how it goes. You go to the next one after that.
Right.
And the next one for the Eagles, by the way, is a regular season opener. They got the hardware. You and I, last time we talked, I said, geez, Jody, drama-free camp. And it's drama-free right up to today.
It has been, which is more good than bad. I had Marcus Hayes from the Inquirer on my show last night. He said the only drama for him was the fact that they once again, and they did it each and every single preseason that Nick Sirianni's been the coach, they basically give their first team the entire preseason off. So you're going to see some guys playing together for the first time in 7, 8, 9 months, whatever it's been since they beat the snot out of the Kansas City Chiefs. And it takes some time to get it together. They believe that they can just show up, throw their guys out there, and all will be fine. We know the talent's there. They showed that last year. Will there be any got-to-get-up-to-speed issues with the Eagles on Thursday night? I don't think so, but I'm glad they're playing a team like the Cowboys, who I just don't think matches up with them talent-wise. So even if they're not all 100% on the same page, they should beat the Cowboys anyway.
Yeah, what shouldn't be forgotten is the Eagles last year actually started the season 2-2, and that's a fact. Cincinnati, which happened to be the Eagles' first preseason matchup, because they've had poor Septembers, they did play a lot of their starters in the first couple of preseason games. Any reason why you think that Nick doesn't change that even a little bit, because he did see his team go 2-2?
Right. He, and I'm sure Howie is consulted with this, Jeffrey probably as well, they put it on the scales. The getting used to the season weighed against potential injury. Yeah. They fall on the side of protecting their players. I think there is a happy medium out there, and they could be a little bit more, let's get ready for the season for me. But, hey, if anybody questions it, like you or me or anybody else, they go, did you catch the parade?
Yeah,
we did win it all last year, so we'll kind of do it the way we think is best.
Right. And that's a fair answer on their part. I also think it's fair analysis on our part that we bring it up. I mean, it's a week-by-week proposition. So is there an area of the team that you look at that you want to see if that area of the team is a little bit better this year than last year?
Ooh, better. I think the offense is what the offense is. And it was damn good last year. And Saquon Barkley had one of the greatest seasons a running backs had in the history of the National Football League. They're making one change on the offensive line. I've heard that Tyler Steen has performed real well in camp, and they're confident that he can do what Mekhi Becton did. So it's basically the same offense, and none of these guys this side of Lane Johnson is one where you'd say, yeah, but he's a year older. Yeah, not really. They're all in their prime stages of their career, So I think the offense should be just as good as it was last year. The question's on defense, because a couple of defensive guys left. They decided to trade GJ. They let Slay go out the door, and they have a question or two on the edge. For me, they're questions. I'm not even going to call them concerns, but they're questions. If you're saying there are no questions on defense, I think you're being a little optimistic. Now, you're putting faith in Vic Fangio, who had a phenomenal year last year as defensive coordinator. We'll see if Fangio can just wave his magic wand again this year and have the Eagles as the number one defense in the NFL.
Jody, did the Micah Parsons situation and how it ended up playing out surprise you?
To be truthful, Steve, and this is going to sound a little braggadocious, but facts are facts, I've been predicting he could get traded for about a month.
Yes, you did.
Because there was so much animosity between he and Micah's agent that I thought it could get ugly behind the scenes, and Jerry is just that kind of guy who's cocky enough to believe he can do anything and it'll work because it's Jerry Jones, except the one thing he's not good at is evaluating NFL talent.
Yeah.
I actually, all the experts I had on my national show over the last 6 weeks, is there a chance of Parsons is there a chance? And to a man, they all said no or minimal at best. I actually believed it was more possible. Now, when it happened, you just don't think it is going to happen, even though it makes sense. And I don't think the Cowboys got near enough in exchange for him, so they definitely take a step back as a team this year. If they use both of the 2 draft picks they get brilliantly, can they actually justify it 5 years down the road? Maybe. But not now. It's advantage Eagles. They were a better team to begin with. Now it's even more of a lopsided roster comparison between the 2 teams going into the opener.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, as you mentioned correctly, Jerry Jones, I think in a lot of ways, I mean, you look at the stadium, you look at these money deals with Nike and so forth, brilliant. But Jerry Jones, the general manager, has hurt Jerry Jones, the owner. And I feel like the Micah Parsons deal, we'll see how it pans out, but it gives you a Reggie White feeling when he signed with Green Bay.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing that comparison, and I see it. I understand it. Reggie was a pure down defensive lineman. Mike is kind of a on the edge, off-ball linebacker. Don't know that Mike is going to reach, and Mike has been great, but I don't know he's going to reach the level of Reggie White. Reggie White light, I might buy that. And yes, we know that Reggie went to Green Bay and they won a Super Bowl, so that's what all Packer fans are saying, believing, and hoping. I'll just say they're a better team. The Packers are improved with Micah Parsons. Is it good enough to get them to a Super Bowl? I'm not ready to go there yet.
I do have to ask you about Jerry Jones. I mean, because you understand the management part of it. You grew up in it. Mm-hmm. How confusing is it watching how he operates that team?
Well, when he first bought the team, he made the best decision he ever made, and it wasn't really all that hard. He hired his college roommate to come in and take over his team as his coach when he brought Jimmy Johnson in. Yeah. But ever since, he just has not been a good judge of talent. He's a great businessman. He's in the Hall of Fame, basically, because he's as good as he is at the business of football. Yeah. But narrow focusing, just picking talent, he's not good at it, and nobody's been able to tell him he's not good at it, and he doesn't believe it because he never puts anybody in place to tell him when he goes astray. So until someone gets inside Jerry's head and tells him, listen, you've done a great job, you're in the Hall of Fame, enjoy the latter stages of your life, let someone else take over building your football team and enjoy the benefit of someone else being able to do it better than you. Now, I don't know that there's anybody on the planet who could actually pull that off. I'm sure his son Stephen has tried over the last couple of decades, but until he does that, I think the Cowboys will have a tough time getting back to the level of America's team.
The NFL, which is a printing press of money, is going more and more into the streaming realm. Netflix will once again do the Christmas Day games. They bought back 3 or 4 games from ESPN so they can do channel streaming. How do you look at the NFL and their forays into streaming, and what do you think it means for the consumer?
This is one that I just continue to get wrong, Steve, so I'll probably give you the wrong answer again. At some point, the NFL is going to go too far, that they're going to spread their games out over an entire week, that they're going to put them on Netflix and or all other streaming outlets for the purpose of getting bigger checks. At some point, the NFL's got to take a hit. That the biggest beast in all of broadcasting has to come back to the pack a little. I've been saying that for 20 years now, and they never do. So I don't. I would just be foolish to continue to beat that drum, but I really do believe it. There's a reason I've said it for 20 years. I think they have to be careful. Now, can they kill it off? Never. But can they actually take a step backwards, something they haven't done in 40 years of putting their product out there for the consumers to take in? They haven't. So I just tip my cap and say, yeah, I guess you're just going to have to tell me what you're doing differently, and I'll find it and I'll follow it. But I don't think that it is ever going to chase the major portion of their fans away.
Right. I agree with all of that. And I also think that there is a limit as to some point you're going to reach a limit in sports as to what the limit somebody can pay, whether it's consumer or entity. And I agree with you completely. You kind of feel like they're pushing the envelope, to me, as far as they can push it.
Yeah, but you want to know something? Somebody's out there making that decision, be it at a streaming outlet, NBC, ESPN, ABC, whatever. They never draw the line. They just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And, yeah, at some point, you're right. They may go too far, and they may not be able to recover the amount that they're putting out there to give the NFL to have their product, and then it will change. It hasn't in 40 years. So, again, you and I can sit here and prognosticate, believe we know when they're going to hit that line and go past it. Hasn't come yet, and I don't think it's coming this year or next year or the year after that either, Steve.
No, they're a printing press. I mean, they're just out there. It's a printing press. It's unbelievable. The Zach Wheeler injury, to me, there are only 2 or 3 guys in today's Major League Baseball that I think are capable as starters of winning 2 games in a short series. To me, he's one of them. All right, what do you see in the Phillies here down the stretch? Because they don't have that entity and won't have that individual in the postseason.
You lose a guy like Zach Wheeler, and there's just no way around it. You're not as good. You don't replace him. You just try and cover up the loss as best you can. And luckily for the Phillies, they've got some depth. So for a team that doesn't have the strength in numbers 2 through 4 or 5, if you want to put a Walker Buehler in there, if they're going to somehow be able to figure out what's wrong with him, they're not left high and dry. I would love to put Zach Wheeler out there, as you say, twice every single series. That would make them a better team. But just because of the depth they have in the rotation, they're hurt. They're not killed off by it. And they need to finish second in the National League. I would like to see them skip that early series. That way you can line up your pitching any way that you want. They're 2 games up on the Dodgers for that number 2 spot in the National League. Shoot, if they beat the Brewers next couple of days, they can actually look up to the Brewers and go, yeah, we can still catch you. This is a key end of the season for them because they want to have that extra game at home in any series that they play. And I think they're playing it up well enough to do just that. Even without a Wheeler, I think they can finish with the second-best record nationally.
Home runs mean a lot to that team. What kind of does it ratchet up the pressure, though, on the offense because he's not there? And I'm talking postseason now, not just in the moment.
Sure. Right now, postseason, it goes up even more. But they do have guys that are coming around at the right time. Marsh is the hottest he's been all year. Stott, who has been struggling all year, and that's why they play Sosa at Edmundo at second base when they do. But he's hot, and Bader has been a phenomenal addition by Dave Dombrowski. Center field, just maybe Gold Glove level defense, and he's hitting as well. So they've got the guys. who they need to get that secondary level of the offense in a bit of a hot streak right now. If they can keep it all the way through October, it'll be great. We have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see is right. All right, so the opener comes up for the Eagles and everything that goes with it. Just tell me, what's the vibe in the city with the defending champions, how they feel about them, how much talk about them? Is it really all about them?
Here's what, no, the Philadelphia sports fan is both a baseball fan and a football fan. They kind of go hand in hand. So people aren't just forgetting about the Phillies because the Eagles are playing their first game. But here's what I will say about the Philadelphia Eagle fans. Despite an attempt by the organization, mostly led by their coach, Nick Sirianni, but other guys like Jordan Mailata saying, we're not defending anything, they're trying to throw cold water on this celebration on Thursday. Yeah. Sirianni has come out and said, we won't even be on the field when they raise the banner because he wants to keep them narrow focused. Now, that's what a coach does. He's always only as good as his next 10 minutes that he's coaching up the team. But the fans are having none of it. They're ready to go there and down there and party. I checked the secondary ticket market. Outrageous prices. Nobody's selling their tickets. They're holding on to them. So, as soon as they kick off against the Cowboys, it's back to celebrating the world champions of football. The Eagles don't want to look at it that way. They don't want to talk about it that way. Oh, the fans do. The fans will, and they'll be there leather-lunged on Thursday night.
My friend, it is always a pleasure, and you're the best. I appreciate it.
Steve, have a great call with the Nits this weekend, bud.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Hey, the great Jody MacDonald. I'm getting any better with having him on the show. Look, let the guys that have gone through this, it's okay to let them enjoy it. We talked about this, and this is a college reference. But Northwestern, for example, played Tulane this past weekend. 2 weeks ago, Tulane asked Northwestern if it'd be possible for them to wear their purple jerseys to the game because of Hurricane Katrina. They wanted to wear their white jerseys. And Northwestern said no. Because, hey, we're going to wear our white jerseys. It's hot. It's humid down there. Just stop overthinking. I mean, David Braun now knows he was wrong about it. But my goodness, and the same thing with this. Don't overthink it. It's okay to go out and let the players enjoy the celebration. That's fine. Right? You can go out and enjoy it and then go out and go to work. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. You've worked this entire time with nobody around to get yourself to this point and let them enjoy it. And and I know that David Braun now knows he was probably wrong about it, but there's a reason why Tulane has to wear the white jerseys. And it doesn't matter. In other words, you look at your team and say, hey, by the way, we're going to wear our home jerseys on the road. They're paying tribute to the victims of Katrina. Right? And don't let them think about it. It's going to be hot, humid. You're wearing dark colors in the sun. Who cares? Okay? You stop thinking so the players don't think. I mean, that's how I look at it. Okay? All right. We'll come back. More in a moment. Great to have you with us today on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.